we believe in date night. We believe in making time for one another. So it was an opportunity that I saw us can basically give hope to other couples.
To be honest, I was a bit hesitant, nervous, because this is not me, So, but doing it for my wife, because we actually believe in love. We do date each other. So I agreed eventually.
November we'll be married for 18
years.
And we know each other for 20.
Yeah, 19 and a half.
Yeah. We started date night in 2010, 6 weeks after my daughter was born. And I said to him, we need to start dating again. And I said to him, I'd like for us to do it often, like regularly. And we started doing date night once a week, either because he's always been a shift worker. So it would either be a Wednesday or a Thursday. Depending on his shift.
Yeah.
And what we've realized is that dating doesn't have to be expensive. So what we started doing, I love coffee. He loves a milkshake. If we can drive to the McDonald's or the KFC and spend 50 Rand, leave the cell phone at home, just the two of us looking into one another's faces, that sensual touch, reminding him that I love him and him reminding me that he loves me. He started going all out, booking dates on the internet, looking for things, searching for things, because that's how important date night became for us as a couple, and that has changed our marriage in such a tremendous way. And I want to say to couples out there, it doesn't have to be expensive. I mean, during lockdown, we would make sure the kids go to, because that's very important to me. I would I would put a blanket on the floor and I'd just pour some wine and make some snacks, and we'd just be the two of us, candlelight, just looking into one another's eyes and reminding one another why I love you, what makes me love you. And the most important thing for me as a wife was to understand how he loves. A lot of us as women always associate love with flowers. When he brings me flowers, I'm like, what did you do? He doesn't communicate love through flowers. He communicates remorse through flowers. When he speaks or communicates love to me, it would be helping me cook, buying me a pair of sexy lingerie. That's how he communicates love. And I had to learn to understand and respect the way he loves, because I was like, you don't love me, you don't bring me flowers. Flowers is not how he communicates love. He communicates love in other areas. And that's what I want to encourage women and men. Understand how your spouse communicates love and celebrate one another that way.
I know it's more like a cliche, yes, but I told her, I don't believe in divorce. We're going to fight it out. We're going to talk it out. And there's one other thing that I also mentioned and always said is like, we won't go to bed angry. We're going to speak about something. Because, spijt kom altyd achterna. Morgen staan jy op, die vrou is weer daar nie, doe het of weg, of enigiets kan gebeur. So that is one of the things that I'm adamant about. We're not gonna go to bed angry. Let's talk it out. And that has helped us. And that has worked for us. And know that dating, or more so marriage, is all about compromising. You need to put the other person first. As much as you want something, always consider whether your spouse or partner wants or needs. So compromise plays a big role.
Advice I would give to a couple is, like my husband said, put one another first. We've learned over the years to put each other first, before the children, before the mother, before the father. So if anything, we come first. Our kids knows, when you ask them, they'll tell you, mommy comes first for daddy, or daddy comes first for mommy. Because ultimately for me is, I realized after 3 years of marriage that because once the kids come, then the kids occupy the space. And I realized quick enough that I cannot allow my kid to take this space up, because one day if they are gone, there might be something or someone that has filled the space. And that's when I introduced us putting one another first, as opposed to putting our kids, our mothers, or our careers first. Because it's easy.
Yes.
It's easy to put your children first, or your career first, or your mother first. But we made the compromise and the commitment that we will always put one another first. Well, we love cooking together.
Yes.
We absolutely love it. It hasn't always been that way. I was always the one in the kitchen, but over the years we've introduced it. So now we cook side by side. Like Sunday mornings we'll make breakfast together. We'll make Sunday dinner together, and that is important for us, because for me that's where intimacy starts.
True.
Because while we're in the kitchen cooking and klap 'n bietjie die bout en ek raak 'n bietjie excited, you know. So we're warming up for the bedroom, if I can put it that way.
So basically that's where the foreplay starts.
That's where the foreplay starts, in the kitchen. As much as I believe in date night, I also believe in boys' night and girls' night. Because as much as we are a couple, we are individuals. And we sometimes need time away from each other so that when we come back, we play better. And so we were going through a very difficult time in 2019, and I could literally see my husband slipping into depression. And his friends were planning a weekend away, and he said, no, but I can't go because we don't have money. And I said to him, no, you're going to go. We're going to sacrifice whatever we need to for you to go, because why, you need time away. You need time to clear your head and find a different space, so that when you come back, I know you're going to be in a better mindset. You know, and he battled. He was like, no man, ons het dan nie geld nie. And I insisted, jy nodig dit. I need you to come back better for us. You know, so go and have that, because I realized if this man doesn't go on this weekend away, it might be detrimental. You know, and he went and he came back. He had that, like I call it the spark. He had that spark in his eye back. And that weekend was like, you know, when you find your why I want to be a better husband, why I want to be a better father. And he came back with a bigger vision for his family. And it is important for me as a wife to always know when it's time for my husband to tap out. You know, and that was one of those times, because when he came back, his vision for us and for our future was bigger and better, because obviously during that time with his friends away, they each shared their experience, and he had a point where he maybe appreciated what he had, you know, and what he was going through. Because sometimes nou en dan besef ons nie wat ons eintlik het nie, you know, en ons dink dit gaan so sleg met ons, om eintlik te kom uitvind dit gaan eintlik nie so sleg met jou nie, maar iemand anders gaan dit slegter, you know. And as a wife, for me, it's always be important to be in tune and inclined to say that he needs to be away from us as a family. Jy kan nie 'n selfsugtige mens wees al is jy getroud. Hy is 'n mens op hom eie, hy nodig tyd weg, en ek sal nou en dan sê, ek nodig gebruik van die Marais af, you know, because it's important. Yeah, because when we come back en dan Tarzan and Jane ons weer baie lekker, because to be honest with you, Leilani, he is the honey to my story. I come from a past of sexual assault, and my greatest fear was, will I be able to satisfy my husband sexually, you know. But he came into my life, and he was like, because I asked him, why are you here? If you're here for sex, you better go, because that's not going to happen. That's not what I am about, you know. But he came into my life, and he basically sealed my wounds with the kisses of his lips. And it was like pouring honey on a wound that has been cleaned and healed, but sometimes just ripped open. So when I think about him, when I hear his voice, when I feel his touch, I associate it with honey. And that's why I love his kisses, because it's like I love the kisses, and I always say to him, soon my now, soon my go, you know. I love the way he kisses me, because that makes me feel like the 6-year-old girl that had that idea of marriage, you know, van Ken and Barbie. That's what goes through my mind when I think about my husband, and being honored by his love and the way he loves just warms my heart.
from the top of my head, I just want to, besides showing it right here, right now, but I want to thank Leyonie for the way she loves. You know, I've learned a lot from Leyonie, the way she loves, the way she puts me first. I'm not too sure how many people is out there, but it is so important to put your spouse, your husband or your wife first. Before your mother, before your children. It really inspires and motivates you as a spouse to do the same. Because in our culture, or basically in the human culture, we always put our kids first. We have this tendency that my children comes first. But at the end, like we mentioned earlier on, children grow up, they leave the house. Then I'm stuck with you. That gap is there because I've been speaking to my children and spending time with them. We never spoke. What do we speak about when they leave? So that has changed my mind, because I also thought like the kids come first, because that's how I was basically raised. My parents didn't have that way. Husband, wife comes first. It was the kids. My mother, we were priority for my mother. So Leyonie brought this new perspective, and it has worked. It's in fact, it's biblical, if I may go that way, where, you know, it's written in the Bible that man and husband
Leave your mother and father and cleave to your wife.
Yeah, it's biblical, where the Bible says you will leave your mother and your father and cleave unto your wife. So, and that is what we're doing. That is what I've learned from her, and I'm happy.
How about you go hotel?